I'm going to show you how to change the third-person character to a character that you like or a character that you created. The first thing we need to do is have a character, and I have a character right here, and I uploaded this character to Mixamo. And Mixamo is a website that will rig a character and paint weight the character. And the first thing we need to do is, once you upload it, your character and match the ankles and the knees, the groin, and the chin, you want to download the character as a T-pose, and that would be the mesh with the skeleton. I'm not going to do that because I've done that already. And then what you want to do is find a walk sequence. Doing that, so select the walk sequence. And you want to make sure that the walk sequence is walking in place, because in the UE4 game, what drives the character forward is the capsule that moves the character around. And then also you want to find a run animation and do the same thing. Doing that in place, and when you do hit download, what you do is you don't need it with the skin. All animations that you download now will be without the skin. Doing that, find a run one, and then what you want to do is find a idle that you like. So here's an idle, very calm one. Download that. Same thing without skin. Remember, all animation is with skin. With the T-pose is with the mesh and the skeleton. And then what you want to do is find a thing called a jump up with this one right here, because you don't want a complete jump cycle, and this is when he's jumping up. And then what you want is when he's in the air or floating before he touches the ground, choose the falling idle. It's this one right here. And then you want the other one is jump down. It's this one right here. So after you download that, I put this into my Unreal folder. And what I need to do now is I need to import those ones I downloaded. And I want to go create a folder. I'm going to call it character. In this folder, I'm going to create another folder that's going to store all my animations. And if you really want to, you can create another folder to keep all your blueprints. But I'm just going to have a folder with all my animations. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to import my T-pose. And I said I put it inside my Unreal folder, and here is all my animations right here. So I'll go in here, and I'm going to choose my T-pose is skinny right here, and hit open. And for this one here, I'm just going to select the default right here, and I'm just going to hit import all. Don't worry about these right here, it's fine. And here's my character. I didn't import the texture. You can put a texture on here if you want to. So the next thing in here, I'm going to import all the animations for this T-pose skinny guy. I'm going to go to my animations. I'm going to right click, import animations. I'm going to choose all of them except for the T-pose. And that's the T-pose with the mesh and skeleton. And open. And then when it comes here, you want to select which skeleton that you want to use, or which skeleton would the animation go on. You want to choose the UE4 skeleton because it has a different skeleton names or bones for the character. So choose your skeleton pose skinny skeleton, and hit import all. So all of these here, you probably see it's not the same names as I downloaded from Mixamo. I had previously downloaded these for my class that I was doing, and I was just renaming them so it'd be easier to remember doing that. Of course, after that, be a good game designer. I'm just going to hit save all, and then go back to character. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a thing called a blend shape. Do that, a gram shape animation, a better name for it. So go in here, right click, choose animation, and I'm going to choose the blend shape 1D. And basically what it means is it starts from an idle position, and then it goes into the walk position, then it goes to the run position. For this one here tutorial, I'm just going to do the basic from idle to run, where I have a walk position, and maybe in the next tutorial I can show you how to hold shift key down, and then when you hold shift key it will run, and let go shift key you will be walk animation. But for this one it's just very basic from idle to run. So I'm going to hit the blend shape 1D, and I'm going to choose the T pose scan skeleton. That's the pose I imported and created, and I like to rename it idle. What I'm going to do, what type of animation this blend shape animation going to have. So if you want to do it in the future or some kicking or punching, you might have a blend shape animation and set that into your state machine. So I can open this up, and I'm going to move it over here. So the first thing here is basically what I'm going to do is I want to copy the same blueprints as the this character here has, and this animation blueprint here doing that. So when I come back in here, that this name horizontal axis, this one right here has no name, I'm going to call this speed. So basically my animation blueprint, which I create later, is going to call for this horizontal movement and use the 0 to 100. I'm going to make this to 220. And you can see when I do that, this will change. Do that, okay. And the next thing here is I could come back later on and change my interpolation time if there's any kind of jerkiness, or when it goes in for idle to walk or walk to stop, I can control the how fast it goes back. So then I'm going to choose the idle one here. It is the zombie idle. I'm drag it to here, and you can see as soon as I do that, it goes to its idle position. And then here in the middle will be the walk. Since where are you? Sexy walk. Do that. So if I move this green here, you can see it slowly blends into the thing here. And then I'm going to the run, goofing run animation. If I move this, you can see it runs in the goofing animation. My students love this because it looks like it's like wipe on, wipe off. Anyways, let me continue here, and I'm going to save all here. So I'm pretty much done with this blueprint. So the next thing here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the third-person animation blueprint, and I'm going to copy the animation graph, and I'm going to use that animation graph for my own animation graph for the blueprint. So I'm going to open this up and move this over here, and then go to the event graph, doing that. And then basically I'm just going to copy this. So basically this is just saying here, if the C is the pawn, it will see if it's in the air. If it's in the air, we'll see the speed of the one-shot blend, which is basically I'm just copying this blueprint and make it to my own. Hit copy, come back here, and I go back to my character, and I'm going to right click and choose animation blueprint. And I'm going to choose the T-pose skeleton right here. Choose that and hit OK. And I'll call this skinny animation underscore BP, stands for blueprints. And I'll open this up. And I'll go into my event graph and paste, copy and paste. There we go. All right, so when I hit compile, this variables is not existing yet right here, or the speed one. That's the speed we created. All right, so if I hit compile and give me an error, and this little cool trick what you can do in this new version is that if you right click and create variable is an error, you see it created that variable. And then I do the same thing for this, right click, variable speed, and it created that variable in here, and then I hit compile, and there we go. And the next thing here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into my animation graph. I realized I made the save event graph to copy that. In my animation graph, that's where I made the save machine. I do apologize for saying the wrong thing. So I'm going to right click here and type in state machine. And I could name it, rename it if I wanted to, but I'm just going to connect this for right now to make it convenient. And I'm going to go in it, and I'm going to drag this. This is the one animation blend shape D that we did. Drag that in. I'm going to connect this like this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click this and go in here right now. The reason I did that because I know I need my speed in here, my idle walk speed thing in here. So drag this. I'm just grabbing it with my thing and drop it on top and there. And then I'm going to go back into the state machine. And now I'm going to build my jump animation doing that. So the first thing in here I want to do is I want to jump up doing that. So I'll go jump up here. And then when it jumps up, it will go into the where are you? Floating sexy or floating in air, doing that. Idle or air float, I think is called that one that we should have downloaded. And then we do jump down, doing that. All right. So I'm going to connect this with the jump up. I'm going to connect this with float sexy. I'm going to connect this with jump down. And I'm going to connect this with idle walk animation. So now I have to set the conditions for all these. Like, for example, when are we in air? How long are we going to be in air? When we are not in air? And the time remain before we go into the walk animation. So I will go into the first condition right here. It's basically, if I go to my variable, basically, are we in air? The result is we are in the air. So drag it in here. It will get it, doing that, and I'll go back to my state machine. And then here, what I'm going to do is select this condition, the time remaining before we go into the float is sexy. And right now, I'm going to right click and type in time remaining. Renaming. Time I think it's remaining. There we go. Sorry. Time remaining jumping up. Doing that. Select that. Don't choose the ratio. And then we need a float value, so saying how long to we go into the time remaining. Drag that off. Type in that and equal like here. And we're going to type in 0.1 and connect this with that. And then go back to the state machine. And they're going to say not in the air, how long in there before. And then we're going to do is in air, get it. And we're going to type in not Boolean, not in air before we get time remaining. Go back to the state machine. And then in here, we're going to say the time remaining before we go into the idle walk animation. Type right click and type in let's type in time remaining. Remaining. There we go. For some reason I can't spell right now. Time remaining before we jump in down. Click that. Right click, do the same thing. Type in this. And choose float equal that. Connect this. And check this as the time goes into that. And now I go back. And when I hit compile, this character will go into its pose. There we go. Alright, so now we're ready to we'll save it too, of course. And now we're going to switch out the existing mannequin with this new one right now. So go into my blueprints here, blueprints, and here's the third person character we're going to exchange. And go into your viewport, and what I'm going to choose is the mesh inherited. And then here we're going to exchange this skeleton mesh, the one's going to be import, which is a T skinning. And then we're going to create the animation class that we just created, which is this right here. Go into your skinny animation, and then in there you can see it's not the right size. And all we really have to do is go to scale them up. For some reason, there we go. And then hit save. And then we go back in here. You can see there's a character. And then I hit play. Oh, you can see I kind of flat him too. So it's the flat skinny man or character. So we can change that. Let's go back and fix him up. I guess it's like the thinner Stephen King movie or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Go in here and here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Compile and save. Just for good, save all. And then hit F11 for the big window. You can see now he's normal size. Hit play. There we go. So if he runs, this little goofy walk. Yay! I'm such a cool character. I can jump. You can see here. He's jumping. Great. Yes. There. Yay. Yay. All right. So that's how you put your own character into the game doing that. I hope you like this tutorial. Maybe next tutorial I can show you how to do a fighting or punching, or maybe you can go into a little cool little dance doing that. And also I can show you how to import your own motion capture animation that we create in our motion capture lab. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Bye-bye.